Welcome back to the show. Happy Saturday. To all my newcomers, welcome to the Clintonville Slasher. To all my returning viewers, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully every Saturday is awesome. Let's talk about a horror story, you fucking nerds. Today I want to talk about a show, The Walking Dead DARYL DIXON spinoff. So a little rundown of the show is that DARYL DIXON is now washes up on the shores of France. And when he washes up on the shores of France, he's kind of like looking around, and he runs into a couple of people when he runs into this nun named Isabella. Now, Isabella has this kid with him, and the kid's name is, and I forget his name. Oh, come on, where is he? Anyway, this kid's name, I don't know what his name is. Anyway, this kid is like born he's born out of the womb of a zombie. So, they think that he is this kind of like Messiah almost. He's like he might be the cure. There's a place called the Nest that they want to get him to. That he's at a convent, and they want to get him there. And they ask the nuns, Isabella and a couple other nuns, ask DARYL, and they say, hey, if you can get him to the Nest, the Nest will get you a boat home. So on this quest, they find out that DARYL finds out that Isabella wasn't always on the up and up. Actually, Isabella, before she became a nun, before the world turned to shit, she was a little bit of a party animal. Boop, 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 boop. She liked the booger sugar. She liked the nightlife. And when the world went to shit, she had a boyfriend named Quinn. Now, Isabella, Quinn, and Quinn's sister, who was pregnant with this kid, actually, they got out together. And Isabella's sister is really, really sick because she's been bit. And so Quinn suggests when they stop at a gas station that they should just leave her there. Just someone will help her. Like, we can't take her. We just leave her there. So she goes, okay, I'll do that. And so she steals the keys out of his pocket, jumps in the car, and she takes off and they leave Quinn there. They get Isabella gets her sister, to safety. Turns out that this kid is actually born from the womb of a zombie. She turns, and the baby turns out to be perfectly fine. So that's why everybody thinks that this kid is like pretty much the savior. And DARYL DIXON is chance to get there. At some point in time in the show, there's this guy named Steven, and DARYL actually, when he first arrived on shore, the first few people he runs into, there's this dude with like a tattoo face, and he's like fucking gnarly. Anyway, DARYL fucking kills his brother, and fucking this guy Steven's pissed off. So the resistance and the bad guys are looking for this kid because they want the kid. So anyway, DARYL gets this kid to they get the kid to the they try to get him to the Nest and the bad guys are basically following them. So at one point they run into this outpost that's a bar that actually kind of like the people that run this outpost bar are for like traitors and bad guys and roughnecks, and DARYL kind of fits in there. And it turns out that it's ran by that guy Quinn. And so when Quinn runs into Isabella, he's like, hey, remember when you left me, bitch? And so, they have kind of this quarrel, and Isabella finds out that her sister was sleeping with Quinn, and the kid is actually Quinn's son. So they try to he agrees to get them to the Nest, but he sells them out to the bad guys. And at the end of the show, they do this really cool fucking battle scene in this pit, and all the zombies, one of the very first things you find out about the zombies is when you stab them, their blood is acid. For some fucking reason, the zombies on the other side of the world, when they bleed fucking acid, which is fucked up. So the bad guys, they put Quinn and fucking DARYL in this fucking pit to fight each other, which is fucking cool. This part is fucking awesome. Then they train him up, and DARYL's like, I'm not dying here, motherfucker. We're gonna do this. So they go back and forth and they fight each other. They're about to fight, and all these zombies, the lights start turning on, and these zombies are chained to the wall. And all the guys that they're in the pit, and there's the bad guys, and they're up top, and they keep shooting these darts into the zombies, and it's full of this green shit that makes them super fucking crazy. So they have to whip the shit out of these zombies. And it's a fucking really cool show. Really cool way to end the show. I like the last 2 episodes. I like how that it's intermixed with how Daryl got to how he how he got on the ship. Daryl was on the coast of Maine, and he gets a hold of Carol, and he's like, I'm on the coast of Maine, blah blah blah, and the phone call is kind of like jumbled, and he doesn't really get to say, doesn't get to hear the end of what Carol's saying. But anyway, there's these guys that hire they're on the ship, they're in charge of the ship, and they hire like the kind of like the roughnecks and stuff to go out, and they pay them money and pay them gas and shit like that to go out, scout, and find these zombies and walkers. And this kid is like trying to get some money so he can take care of his people, because he's like the leader. He's like got a couple of people below him that he's trying to take care of. The kid's very unexperienced, and he ends up going out with these other guys. And Daryl doesn't take him under his wing. He kind of just lets this kid kind of go off in with these other dudes. And when the other guys come back, they come back with the kid who's all chained up as a zombie, and Daryl knows that he killed him, so he slaps one of them, and they put him on the ship with the other guy. And when they're on the ship, there's like a cage of zombies, and they're feeding the prisoners to the zombies. So when they get to Daryl's turn, Daryl beats the shit out of him, and he's running off the ship, and he fucking drops one of the like life preserver boats, and it hits the water, and he beats up a zombie, and he jumps off, and he gets there, and at the very end, he gets the kid to the nest. The guys, the leaders of the nest are like, if you go, walk a couple of days out this way, you're going to run into this boat that will take you home. And so Daryl's on the beach, on Normandy Beach, and which I really, really like, because Daryl had said something about how his grandfather never left the beach in Normandy, and he sees his grandpa's grave there, which I thought was super cool. And so Daryl's on the beach, and he's beating up these zombies. He's got like this mace ball, and he's just beating the shit out of them, smashing their skulls in. And he gets to the middle of the beach, and he sees the boat, but then he hears his name called, and he turns around, and he sees the kid standing on top of like old World War II German bunker, and all these zombies are around him. And so Daryl's stuck in the middle of the beach, he's looking at the water on the way home, and then he's looking at this kid, and Daryl's kind of at that like point in his life where, excuse me, like, I could go home, but I can't let this kid's death be on my conscience. So that's kind of where it leaves off. And at the very end, there's this dude driving Daryl's bike, and this car fucking runs up and smashes into him, and fucking the guy shoots the car, and Carol gets out of the car, and he's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "Where'd you get the bike? I know this is the guy Daryl's. This is his bike. I want to know where he is." And so he's like, "Well, go back to town." And that's where they took him. They put him on a ship. And so she throws him, she tosses the guy in the trunk, and she turns around and she drives off. So that's the end of the season. What I didn't like about this is that it's a fucking really, really slow burn. It's a slow walk through it. A lot of it's in French. Wasn't like as much action-packed as I would have liked. But the story was there. The story was cool. I liked the characters, and I liked that intermix that they did with the episodes that kind of showed you, like, you were kind of confused, and Daryl would get to on the other side of the globe. But then you're like, okay, like, now you can kind of see the story at the very end. And it's only about 8 episodes. It's streaming for free on Netflix. I enjoyed it. I'm starting the Rick and Michonne show now. I'm actually in the first episode of that season. That one's a little bit more fucking crazy. I'll get into that as soon as I finish this one. So if you guys want to check it out, please check it out. It is streaming for free on Netflix. You can watch it on AMC Plus. I'm a huge Walking Dead fan, huge fan of the books. So I was a fan of this show. Just a little bit of a slow burn, but I did enjoy it. If you're new, hit that like and subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your mom. Stay horror. Have a great Saturday, and we'll see you next time, you fucking nerds. Uh-oh, did I end it?